Sectumsempra, Latin for always cut. A curse so sharp it doesn't need a blade. Designed by Severus Snape during his Hogwarts years, this spell manifests as invisible slashes that slice deep into the target's flesh. It's categorized as dark magic due to its violent, uncontrolled energy. When cast, it behaves like a wave of cursed force, bypassing armor and conventional shields, leaving deep lacerations and rapid blood loss in seconds. Victims appear as if attacked by an unseen sword, bleeding, collapsing, and often unhealable without specialized counter-magic. The structure of Sectumsempra's incantation reveals Snape's precision. Sectum, meaning to cut or sever, reflects surgical intent rather than chaotic harm. Unlike typical dueling spells, it carries no light burst or visible arc. The magic strikes silently and fatally. In magical theory, it likely channels intent through the caster's emotional state, amplifying hatred or fear into tangible force. One reason why it's dangerously unpredictable for inexperienced wizards. Snape recorded this curse in the margins of his advanced potion-making textbook under his alias, the Half-Blood Prince. Harry Potter later discovered it and used it on Draco Malfoy without understanding its function. The result, massive blood loss and near death, demonstrated its lethality. During the Battle of the Seven Potters, Snape's misfire of the same spell severed George Weasley's ear, proving how little control even its creator had once cast. Sectumsempra was never declared one of the unforgivable curses, but only because it lacks the necessary legislative classification. In practical terms, its damage rivals the killing curse. It's the perfect reflection of Snape himself, brilliant, defensive, and terrifying when cornered. Vulnera Sanentur, Latin for "may the wounds be healed." This spell serves as the exact counter to Sectumsempra, showing that Severus Snape was not only a maker of curses, but also their cure. It's an advanced healing incantation that reverses the effects of dark magic rather than ordinary injury. Unlike Episce or Ferula, which treat surface harm, Vulnera Sanentur works like magical surgery, repairing deep cursed lacerations and internal bleeding. The incantation must be spoken 3 times, each repetition performing a specific task. The first slows the bleeding, the second seals torn tissue, and the third restores stability. It demands exceptional wand precision and emotional control. The magic functions only through calm intent. Snape was uniquely capable of performing it correctly. He used this spell in Half-Blood Prince after Harry's attack on Draco Malfoy. Kneeling beside him, Snape traced his wand across the wounds and murmured the incantation, almost like a song. That description is literal, not poetic. The rhythm regulates the magic's flow, syncing it to the heartbeat of the victim to sustain life. Vulnera Sanentur also requires dittany, a rare restorative herb that regenerates skin and prevents scarring. The partnership between spell and herb shows Snape's hybrid mastery of charms and potion-making. The irony remains striking. The same wizard who created a curse capable of bleeding a man dry also designed the only spell that could reverse it. In both, intent defines the outcome, hurt or heal. Levicorpus, from the Latin levar, to lift, and corpus, body. A non-lethal spell designed to suspend its victim upside down by the ankle, leaving them dangling helplessly in midair. When cast, the effect is instantaneous. The target is yanked upward by invisible force, arms flailing, robes falling, dignity gone. There's no visible tether, no glow. Just gravity reversed and humiliation ensured. Snape created Levicorpus during his Hogwarts years, likely as a defensive measure against bullies. Unlike most hexes, it was intended to be performed non-verbally, a silent form of retaliation requiring focus rather than aggression. The spell's magical structure manipulates the target's center of balance and localized levitation field, effectively pinning them in suspension. Its genius lies in precision, restraint through levity instead of injury. But Levicorpus didn't remain private for long. By the mid-1970s, it spread among students like wildfire. Remus Lupin recalled that you could barely move without being hoisted into the air. No one knew the inventor was the very boy often left hanging upside down himself. Ironically, James Potter later used Snape's own spell against him in public, turning an act of self-defense into a weapon of ridicule. Harry Potter later rediscovers the spell from Snape's annotated textbook and uses it in duels and pranks. Though harmless in physical terms, Levicorpus is psychological magic. It removes control, forces vulnerability, and exposes pride. In Snape's hands, it was revenge by elevation, humiliation without a scar. Liberacorpus, from liberare, to free, and corpus, body. This is the release charm, the direct counter to Levicorpus. When cast, the spell breaks the levitation field holding the victim upside down, returning them abruptly to the ground. Its effect is immediate and simple, a clean release from suspension. Though often overlooked, Liberacorpus represents a key pattern in Snape's spellcraft, the creation of balance. For every curse, he designed an undoing. Snape likely developed both spells together during his school years, pairing control with correction. In theory, Levicorpus manipulates gravitational force, while Liberacorpus cancels it by dispersing the magical hold around the target's body. It's classified as a reversal charm, requiring accuracy rather than power, since a poorly aimed cast can drop the victim from dangerous heights. The most famous use of Liberacorpus occurs in Snape's youth when James Potter humiliates him with Levicorpus. Lily Evans demands that he release Snape, and James complies with Liberacorpus, causing Snape to crash gracelessly to the ground. It's a rare moment where the counterspell restores dignity, though briefly. Unlike its counterpart, Liberacorpus was never popular among students. It lacked the drama that made Levicorpus famous. Still, its existence reveals Snape's peculiar consistency. He never built one-sided spells. Even in mischief or anger, his magic included a mechanism for reversal, control, consequence, and correction, all contained within the same design. Muffliato? A charm built on silence, not suppression. When cast, it fills the ears of everyone nearby with a faint, indistinct buzzing, like static or distant whispering. It doesn't block sound entirely, but distorts it, preventing outsiders from clearly hearing a conversation. Unlike a silencing charm, which mutes the speaker, Muffliato targets the listener's perception. The room still carries noise. It's just rendered unintelligible. This charm reflects Snape's preference for control through subtlety. He likely invented it during his Hogwarts years to protect private discussions, potion experiments, or secret meetings from eavesdroppers. Its mechanics suggest precise manipulation of air vibration frequencies, a deliberate interference in sound reception. The result is a localized audio distortion field that affects only those within range, leaving the caster's own hearing untouched. Muffliato was never formally taught at Hogwarts. Its ethical implications are questionable. It violates magical privacy standards by altering others' senses without consent. Yet that same property made it indispensable for those working in secrecy. When Harry and Hermione later discover it in Snape's annotated textbook, they use it frequently, during planning sessions, in corridors, even while discussing Voldemort's name, a perfect example of practicality outweighing propriety. Snape's choice to invent Muffliato reveals his tactical intelligence. He didn't just value silence, he weaponized it. Where most wizards sought louder spells and brighter flashes, Snape designed one that wins by whispering. In a world of noise, he mastered absence. Langlock, a jinx that silences not by distance, but by force. When cast, it causes the victim's tongue to adhere to the roof of their mouth, making speech, and thus spellcasting, impossible. The name comes from the Latin lingua, tongue, and the English lock, meaning to seal or secure. The result is instantaneous muteness, a physical barrier rather than a magical dampening. Snape's intent with Langlock was both practical and psychological. In a duel, silencing an opponent prevents them from uttering incantations, disarming them without removing their wand. In social conflict, it simply ends an argument. The spell is classified as a moderate jinx, non-lethal, reversible, and efficient. Its enchantment binds soft tissue with adhesive magic, which dissipates after several minutes or when countered. The spell's versatility is remarkable. It even works on spectral beings. When Harry discovers it in Snape's annotated textbook, he first uses it on Peeves, the poltergeist, silencing the castle's loudest nuisance mid-tantrum. Later, he uses it on Argus Filch, earning laughs from his classmates. What began as Snape's calculated restraint became one of Hogwarts' most mischievous tricks. Langlock encapsulates Snape's fascination with control through limitation. He didn't invent curses to destroy. He designed them to dictate outcomes. Who speaks, who listens, who acts. In its simplicity, Langlock represents a core of Snape's philosophy. Silence is power, and restraint can humiliate as effectively as any wound. The Toenail growing hex, Snape's most harmless and least understood invention. Unlike his darker or more tactical creations, this one falls under the category of mild hexes, spells that cause discomfort without lasting harm. When cast, it triggers rapid toenail growth, causing the victim's nails to curl uncontrollably and tear through their shoes. The effect is immediate, bizarre, and humiliating. The hex's mechanics likely rely on biological acceleration magic, similar to the charms used in hair growth tonics, but directed toward a single, inconvenient target. Because toenails grow continuously, the spell amplifies their natural rate exponentially until the caster releases it or the magic fades. The result isn't pain, but panic and embarrassment. The kind of chaos Snape might have used to even the score without crossing moral lines. Harry Potter tests this spell on Vincent Crabbe in Half-Blood Prince, describing the outcome as very entertaining. That brief reference confirms its presence among Snape's notes in the Half-Blood Prince's textbook, alongside far more dangerous magic. While trivial compared to Sectumsempra or Langlock, it reveals something telling about Snape's creativity. This hex isn't born of hatred. It's sarcasm made magical. It turns intimidation into inconvenience, the perfect joke for a wizard with a cutting wit and a bruised pride. In its absurdity lies intent. Snape's humor wasn't kind, but it was clever. Even his pranks carried precision. For someone who mastered pain, creating laughter, even at someone else's expense, was its own kind of power.